Key witness in this case took the stand and described what she saw before and after the fatal shooting of Dani McIver. Here to break down a revealing point of Dani Jo Carter's testimony, former prosecutor Vinnie Politan joining us from the newsroom right now.
All right, thanks so much, Jeff. And she was on the stand for part of her testimony. Another part of her testimony, what they did in the courtroom is what I've done right here, is they built a replica of the SUV with the driver's seat, the passenger seat. This is where Dani Jo Carter, the witness, was sitting during her part of her testimony today and where she was sitting when the gun went off. Over here, this is where Dani McIver was, and this is the seat where Tex McIver was. And the really important piece of testimony that I heard today that changed my perspective of what really happened there was when Dani Jo described how the gun was given to Tex McIver. Now, they had gotten off of the connector on Edgewood Avenue, and at that point, Tex McIver was concerned for his safety, so he said, "Darling, can you hand me my gun?" Dani McIver hands him the gun from the console. It's in a Publix plastic bag. And up until this point of the trial, I think the interpretation and impression most of us had is that the defense's story is that the gun was on his lap in the bag, and he says it went off. But today, during her testimony, as she sat in that passenger seat, Dani Jo Carter testified that she heard a loud boom, and when she heard the boom, she turned to Tex McIver. And what she saw was not Tex McIver's hand on the bag, but Tex McIver's hand in the bag, which is a huge difference from the impression that we got from the defense that this gun was in the bag on his lap. But now we have his hand on the gun, which is way different, Jeff, and really a significant point for prosecutors. Whether or not it makes the difference in this case, I'm not sure, but it's a much different picture than what we heard from the defense saying that he didn't fire the gun, it was in a bag.
Yeah, surprise development today. Yeah. Vinnie, thank you. You can get more in-depth legal coverage each day of the McIver trial as Vinnie sits down with his legal dream team to break down the day's events. They go live on Facebook. That's at 7:30, a little less than 2 hours away. And then you can watch the late feed at 11 p.m. right here on 11 Alive as they wrap up the day's biggest developments.